Straight to the point, sports and entertainment. I want you to hit the like button. Make sure you sub to the channel if you're not a member, and also hit the notifications so that you're able to get all of my content as well as all of my videos. Okay. Um, I wanted to go live on this because I really did want to talk about uh, what both Paul Pierce, Keyshawn Johnson, and Skip Bayless had to say today in regards to Russell Westbrook. Okay, who was my favorite player when he was well, he still is, and was also has always been my favorite player. And you know, the thing about it is with Russell Westbrook is Paul Pierce had said something very key, and he said what was missing from the Clippers is leadership. What's up with it, Brown Sugar? What's missing is leadership, and I've always said that they don't have no leadership on the Clippers. For instance, when it came down to finish the game with the Lakers, they pretty much had a whole bunch of guys out there. Even though Paul George wasn't out there, they still had guys out there who were really talented players, really great players and everything, but the only difference is that they had nobody there that could truly lead them. But the one guy that was doing it that you could see was Russell Westbrook, but unfortunately they still weren't able to get over the hump. But now that Russ is gone, now you're really seeing such a I guess you could say like a missing piece in terms of the mental side of the Clippers. Okay, now listen, Paul Pierce has said that Russell Westbrook is a leader. Okay, and I agree with that wholeheartedly. Okay, Russell Westbrook is a leader. All right, he's always been that alpha on the team. When he was with OKC, it wasn't. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely, Brown Sugar. If it listen, KD wasn't the leader, and I've always said that KD isn't a leader. Okay, he might lead by example, and that's the point that Skip Bayless was trying to make today. With Kawhi Leonard, he leads by example, and these guys like KD might lead by example. But Paul Pierce had called him out and basically checked Skip and said, nobody is just trying to see you lead by example. You're trying to hold these guys accountable. He said you need somebody to step in James Harden's face. You need somebody to step in Kawhi's face and Paul George's face and anybody else's face on there. And on top of that, when it comes to that second unit, you need somebody out there that's going to really hold guys accountable. What's up with it? Be nice. I see you in the building. Yeah, they didn't appreciate Russ. Now, this is another thing that Skip, and see, this is why you have to listen to the LDBC. You need to listen to guys like Ticket. You need to listen to guys like Two Raw. You need to listen to guys like 78. You need to listen to guys like the brother James. You need to listen to guys like T Price. You need to listen to guys like FYF. You need to listen to guys like LVZ. You need to listen to these guys, okay? Fuck all that uh, Fox and ESPN stuff. This is what I want to tell you. Skip was saying Russ led the league in turnovers, right? Now remember he played for the Lakers in the 21-22 season. Overall, who led the league in turnovers? It was Trae Young. Okay, and Trae Young led the league in turnovers in the very next season. And in that very next season, Russ wasn't even Russ didn't even Russ isn't even in the top five. Okay, so I don't understand why he keeps always putting there. Yeah, he was number two, but he still didn't lead the league in turnovers. As a matter of fact, he started to cut down on his turnovers as soon as, especially when he went to the Clippers. He was playing phenomenal. It was guys like Luka Doncic and Trae Young that were averaging way more turnovers than Russ. Okay, so that's why I'm saying you can't just go off of what Skip says. He's a he's a fanboy, a fanatic of Michael Jordan. Okay, I'm a fan of Michael Jordan, but I'm gonna still hold MJ accountable and also be objective on the bullshit. Skip doesn't know how to do that. Okay, and another thing is don't try to shoot Russell Westbrook up now, talking about trying to be soften the blow off of what you did. Trying to make all these clown show videos about him, talking bad about him, just making, 5-minute segments of Russ, his mishaps on the court and stuff like that. Don't try to do that now, because now you got two guys there, and it might be a LA bias, because we have to realize that Paul Pierce grew up in Inglewood or in LA, and so did Keyshawn in LA too as well, and he went to USC. And as you know, uh, they both they're from that area, and Russell Westbrook is from Long Beach, and that's right in that neck of the woods in LA. So they might be a little bit biased, but at the same token, they do have a point. And I'm glad Keyshawn also came to the defense of Russ too as well when Skip tried to bring all that shit up in LA. Shannon, as great as Shannon was for the show, he tried to tag along with Skip on there, and that's one thing that I didn't want Shannon doing. Now he started to kind of push back on Skip just a little bit when it came to the Russ thing, but for the most part, he never really defended Russ. You said Lakers used Russ as a scapegoat to cover up LeBron's fault. Yeah, of course they did. And then also they wanted to use him, and then also get LeBron his record, and then go ahead and then, okay, we don't need you anymore. But if you don't notice, Russell Westbrook was actually doing everything that he can for the betterment of the team, even going so far as taking hits in terms of what was going on, with the personal things, with his family and all that other stuff. Something that I'm not really going to get into. So I just wanted to point that out. I'm glad. Both Paul Pierce and Keyshawn had checked him on that, because Russell Westbrook has always been a leader. Ever since he was in OKC, he had been a leader. Even when he was in Washington, he was a leader. Okay, he led them guys to the playoffs. Even when everybody had counted Washington out, it was Russ that led them to the playoffs. And everybody's looking at it from the standpoint, and I'm glad Paul Pierce pointed this out too, right? He pointed this key factor out too. It's not all about scoring a lot of points and looking all fancy, and how many the numbers, and standing out at you and all that. Nah, sometimes it's just your presence and you being able to lead the charge, and you putting the team on your back, and also holding guys accountable too. It's not it's Now you don't hear no negativity about Russ since he left the Lakers. Yeah, exactly. You don't hear all that stuff no more. You don't hear all that stuff no more. Hey, and guess what? The Clippers are doing better than the Lakers, right? So now you see, that's what God's been saying. Everybody wants to do the finger pointing and the blaming. Oh, Russ is trash, and Russ is this, and Russ is that. Hey, there's still problems in the Lakers. Now guess what they doing over there? They're finger pointing to Darvin Ham, or they're finger pointing to D'Lo, or they're finger pointing to AD, or finger pointing to this guy. You understand what I'm saying? So we know that Russ wasn't a problem. Matter of fact, they barely even talk about Russ. Now they talking about him finally in a good light, you know. And Skip wants to think that we forgot about all the shit that he was doing. We didn't forget about anything. We didn't forget about anything, Skip. And we're gonna hold your feet to the fire until you until you leave this earth. and it is what it is. You could sit up here and you could discount, go back way back when, and when Russ was, with the Lakers, or he made some ill-advised decisions. And yeah, he's a team player. He's always been. He's all and Russ, up until he had got injured with that knee injury with Pat Bev. A lot of people don't know he hadn't missed a game. That's a leader. Being the first one in the gym, that's a leader. Not only leading by example, but also being a vocal leader. Hey, you might not have a perfect game. That's not one of the reasons why. That's not the major reason why I like Russ. Okay, this is a key reason why I like Russ. Yeah, exactly. You need somebody that's gonna listen. And on top of that, I don't agree with some of the stuff that he's done off the court. But for the most part, I don't know him personally or anything. But what it's presented is the man takes care of his family. He's a leader of his household. You know what I'm saying? There's other things that you gotta look at. But in totality, we're looking at it from a basketball standpoint, and he definitely is a leader. You said Skip is a straight up, yeah, he is. And you know what's crazy? Skip never used to hate on Russ like this. As a matter of fact, when it came to OKC, if you go back and you go look, I want y'all to do some research, because everybody tends to think that Skip has always hated Russ like this. No, he didn't. He actually used to praise Skip when they made it to the finals. He was actually praising Skip, with the exception of that time when he scored 55 in the finals and stuff, and then he agreed with, I think it was Magic Johnson, or whatnot. But even still, in that game, I thought, for Russ as being as young as he was and making it to the finals, and putting on that display, I thought he played a phenomenal game. When he put up 55 in the finals, I thought that was a phenomenal game. But they were young, and that's in the past. But he had not always hated Russ like that. Um, but yeah, shout out to both Paul Pierce, the Truth, and Keyshawn Johnson, for definitely checking Skip. Skip didn't have no room to breathe today. You weren't gonna come with them silly ass talking points today, and thought that maybe it was going to work against a guy like Paul Pierce, who's played in the league, and against a guy like Keyshawn, who actually knows about being in locker rooms, and actually being in competitive sports. I'm pretty sure Keyshawn Johnson has been around guys where they're not necessarily the best player in football, but guess what? They were leaders on the team. Skip's got real messy with the personal shit. Yeah, he did. He always does. But Skip Skip will always be, a guy that just talks. And if you really want to be honest, Skip is not a great journalist. If you really want to, if we're being honest, he's not a great journalist at all, or a writer, or whatever you want to call it. Not whatever you want to call it, but whatever title that you want to call him. He's not great at what he does, and on top of that, he's so biased. He struggles with not only being objective, but also holding the people that he truly likes accountable. The main guys are Tom Brady. Okay, that's one guy he doesn't want to hold accountable. He doesn't want to hold a guy accountable like a Michael Jordan. Okay, he thinks that Jordan could do no wrong. What's up with it, Alex? I see you in the building. He doesn't want to hold him accountable for anything, right? I've seen him. Even when it came to Tim Tebow, he, he didn't want to hold. We understood that Tim Tebow was a great guy and everything like that, but he wasn't the best thrower of the football. Now, I rooted for Tim Tebow, but you still got to hold people accountable. It doesn't matter, but you want to hold guys accountable because you're biased. You know what I'm saying? And you were even at one point you like Kawhi Leonard, but because he left the Spurs, then I guess the narrative changed. Paul knows his stuff, and he knows how to call out. Yeah, exactly. He wasn't going to give Skip no. Him and Keyshawn wasn't going to. They weren't going to give Skip no room to breathe on this one. And I'm glad he called out the BS. I'm glad he called out the bullshit. You know, that's what I wanted to see. I'm glad I wasn't the only one that saw that. I know, because I'm thinking about people that really truly like Russell Westbrook. Uh, Sorry about that, y'all. But yeah, I mean, the fact that they want to sit up here and they want to try to make Russ a scapegoat, all they point out is the negative and stuff like that. I'm glad Paul Pitt, because he understands being that. Not to take anything away from Keyshawn Johnson, because he did play professional sports. But when we're talking about just specifically basketball, okay, you have a guy in Paul Pierce that's really going to take you in depth what's going on in these locker rooms, real life situations, because Paul has been, unfortunately, a victim of real life situations that have taken place. We just seen it just a little while ago with the whole his house being burglarized, stuff like that, and then also what took place when he was in the NBA early. So he knows about real situations that take place. He's not just gonna go how, like, a lot of these guys, they look on the computer, or they look what's going on the headlines, they watch a couple of highlights, they write a few talking points down, and then they try to use those. It's just not gonna work. You say, I'm definitely going back to watching the show now that he's on there. Yeah, look at you being biased, Sugar, with your Celtics bias. Nah, I understand though. Nah, he really is a good analyst. I like him on the Jump when he was on there with Rachel Nichols. I think it was the Jump, if I'm not mistaken. It was that show with Rachel Nichols. Um, but yeah, at first I didn't know how Paul Pierce was gonna do, but Paul Pierce can pretty much mix it up. He done been on Countdown. He done been on the Jump. He done been on various shows. So this isn't Paul Pierce's first rodeo. You got to realize he did work for ESPN for a reason. It wasn't like, okay, like he really struggled. Listen, if you go back and you go listen to some of the analysts that used to be NBA players, I could tell you the ones right offhand that struggled. Okay, let's start with Shaquille O'Neal. He struggled, and not necessarily with articulating the words and all that other stuff. You know what I'm saying? Or projecting his words, maybe, but more so him being an athlete instead of actually being an analyst. Okay, there's a difference. You said Paul is a good addition. Absolutely. You said he played the game and he's well respected. He's raw and uncut. And I'm here for it. Yeah, absolutely, and that's what you need. Um, who else? Chris Webber. He struggled. Okay, he struggled. He almost improved and everything, but he still was struggling for a while. I'm talking about guys that tried to transition from playing on the court or being on the field but mainly the court, to being in the media. Okay, Charles Barkley, even though he was a great, as far as personality, and he was must see TV and stuff, he struggled with some things. Okay, coming in. You said listening to Keyshawn and Irving talk basketball is like asking your barber to pull one of your. Oh man, yeah, and listen, man, I got love for Michael Irvin, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, like Michael Irvin, he definitely knows his football. Both, and Michael Irvin actually was a two-sport player, but in terms of him talking basketball, I think Michael Irvin, he's great at talking about the real side of basketball, because Michael Irvin does know a lot of the NBA players and stuff like that. They're real cool with Michael Irvin and stuff. You know what I'm saying? But of course, he's not going to be on a guy like a Paul Pierce level or something. something like that, or someone like that. And then also, what's his name? Kendrick Perkins. He struggled. Okay, he struggled with transitioning over and stuff. Now, I got to give Kendrick Perkins his credit. Now, does he cap a little bit about some things? Yeah, but for the most part, Kendrick Perkins has improved. He's improved a lot. You know what I'm saying? And you can't help how you talk. Hell, man, we from the South. You're gonna have to either accept it. Look, accept it or reject it. That's what I say. If you don't like the way somebody talk or something like that, but you have to really listen to what people are saying. And once you get past all that, then you'll understand. Everybody's not going to talk the same. Everybody's not going to articulate their words the same. There's some people that aren't going to go by the book with everything. And that's what you got to respect. But yeah, Michael Irvin, man, I like Michael Irvin and stuff, but Keyshawn and him, man, they gotta stick to the sport that they are truly good at. However, I also respect Keyshawn and I respect Irvin for at least trying. Because if you could get better at it, like I'm gonna tell you something, right? You said I like Irvin, but he is out of his league talking basketball. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Be nice, but this is what I want to say, right? The thing that you gotta, I respect the guy like a Marcus Spears who touches on basketball. He also, but of course they talking about LeBron James. They at least trying. Like Keyshawn Johnson, he might not be the best at it, but he at least trying. They can get better because you're gonna have to get better, man. If you're gonna be on that type of stage or whatever, and be talking amongst some basketball aficionados. You understand what I'm saying? So I can respect guys that are gonna try to mix it up a little bit. That's like with me on this channel. If you notice, I'm not just gonna talk basketball all the time. I'm gonna talk football. Hell, the brother T Price, shout out to T Price, he hit me with a question about tennis. Because he knows that I follow different sports. I follow tennis. If you go look at my community section, I got guys up there. Shout out to Chilltown Hoops. He not only does basketball, he's got hockey. On his channel. You know what I'm saying? And that's a good thing. You got, like I said, you got to be able to diversify and also be versatile too as well. But yeah, man, shout out to Paul Pierce and shout out to Keyshawn Johnson for holding Skip accountable and not letting him go with the bullshit. Now, another thing is, man, I got to talk about too. Y'all know I be random and be all over the damn place. I got to talk about everybody putting respect on Victor Wembanyama's name, okay? Now, I've been seeing a lot, everybody saying how Victor Wembanyama is overrated and all this other stuff. And also today, there were some people saying that, he was supposed to have the Spurs in the playoffs and all this other stuff. Look, let's just go down in history, right? Okay, I'm just going to give you a couple examples. Kevin Durant, okay, he won Rookie of the Year. You want to know what his record was? His record was 20-62 when he was with the originally the Seattle Supersonics, but which we know now as the OKC Thunder, right? And he won Rookie of the Year, and he was balling out individually. Guess what? He ended up winning 2 rings. Now, he went to Golden State to go get him, but nevertheless, he was a champion. Okay, and also he led him and Russell Westbrook. They led OKC to the final. LeBron James, okay, when he first got into the league, guess what? He was 35-47. Okay, won Rookie of the Year. Okay, he balled out. He balled out his first game. But guess what? They didn't make the playoffs. And on top of that, both D Wade and Carmelo Anthony made the playoffs. Okay, and he was drafted ahead of them. They got to stop with the bullshit, saying that, oh yeah, just because they 12 and whatever, they got a horrible record last and everything like that. Nevertheless, Victor Wembanyama is establishing records. Okay, he's leading the league in blocks by a wide margin. Okay, I think the next person that leads in blocks is I think it's Chet Holmgren or something like that. He's averaging 3.3, and on top of that, they're already talking about he should be not only rookie of the year but also DPOY. You said I would love Russ. Yeah, just so he could shut the haters up. Let Wemby learn and grow. They need to. Yeah, they gotta listen. He's doing a lot better. I'll put it to you like this. Be nice. He's doing a lot better than a lot of the other rookies are. I tell you that. Like when if you go look in the past and the way that he's focused on defense, everybody just automatically just want this guy just to, okay, yeah, he's supposed to be in the playoffs, going deep and everything. You said Russ got at least 3 more years in him. Yeah, I mean, yeah, but we're just talking about his leadership, Dante. We're talking about his leadership. I was talking about his leadership. Never mind about how long he has to play. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he is 35. Of course, he might not have that long. You got to think about it. KD, he turned 36. Steph Curry, he turned 36. LeBron, almost 40. Yeah, these guys are on their way out. Yeah, so I was just talking about the leadership. And plus, as an older player, that's what you're going to be. You're going to be a leader. So some people would have looked at, I would have expected PJ Tucker to be a leader. But PJ Tucker has been so disgruntled with his role and everything that he doesn't want to do that. You said Wemby looks really comfortable. Yeah, he looks comfortable as a rookie. Now, is he going to mess up? Yeah, he's going to make his mistakes. He's going to make his mistake the first couple years. They might not make the playoff next year, but that doesn't take away from anything. That doesn't take away from anything of what he's been doing. A guy that can rim protect. Oh, I know they're going to come with this whole bullshit talking about, oh, yeah, well, he's 7'4". He's supposed to do that. Mark Eaton was tall as a motherfucker. Manute Bol was taller than a motherfucker. Hell, the Dikembe Mutombo, he wasn't like no 7'4" or nothing, but he was taller than a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? We gotta stop all this. Oh yeah, well he's 7'4". He's supposed to do that. Okay, he's 7'4". Not only he's rim protecting, but he's able to flash out. He's able to move. He's able to read the pick and roll at an early age, with something that a lot of guys struggle with. That's why Giannis is so good. He's able to pick up on. That's why Giannis. That's one of the reasons why I like Giannis, because he's able to read the pick and roll. You said Spurs just have to build around Wemby and they'll be all right. Yeah, they have to. And listen, when you're running an offense through a guy like that, not only that, man, look. If you look at how this guy defends, okay, y'all are talking about Wemby as if he's 7'4" and just pity patting up the court. No, Wemby is actually running and getting back on defense at 7'4". Then on top of that, he's guarding the perimeter at 7'4". When have you seen that? You haven't really you haven't seen no guys that try. I mean, you have Bo to a certain extent, but Bo hasn't amounted to what Wemby has. Porzingis in a way, but Porzingis is not the defender that Wemby is. It's all about the right fit and players around him. Yeah, exactly. Wemby not only and on top of that, he's humble. He wants to get better. You know what I'm saying? Even Rudy Gobert. Rudy Gobert was, they're both from France and everything. He knows Wemby. He said, give him Defensive Player of the Year. And right now, Rudy Gobert is leading for Defensive Player of the Year. So that just goes to show you how much they regard Wemby. Did he get dunked on by John Morant? Yeah. Did he get dunked on by, Embiid? Did Embiid give him 70 and everything? Yeah. But you're supposed to do that. You're supposed to do that. If you're a rookie, yeah, you're supposed to get, dunked on and get your welcome to the NBA moment. The guy from Golden State who barely get playing time, he dunked on his ass left-handed. They also talking like he's been in the league for, yeah. Listen, and be nice. That's the thing. We live in a microwave society. We live in a microwave society. They want it quick, fast, in a hurry. TV dinner. That's what they want. They want TV dinner. They don't want to slow cook. We don't want to put it in the, they don't want to put it in the slow cooker. You know what I'm saying? They don't want no, they want it quick, fast, in a hurry. And it just don't work like that. You know what I'm saying? That's the problem why a lot of these teams, they have problems now. Look at the Nuggets. The Nuggets aren't quick, fast, in a hurry. They went through their growing pains. That's why they are connected now. They was able to add a guy in Aaron Gordon, and now look at them. They was able to, get the KCP on there. They was able to get, a couple guys, DeAndre Jordan. You know what I'm saying? Get some missing pieces. You got to remember, Jokic struggled in the playoffs his first few seasons. Now he made the playoffs his first season in 2012, but he had been struggling. What was the narrative about Jokic? Jokic has been in the league for a long time. You said even DeAndre Jordan had to get in the crop. Yeah, yeah, man. So I mean, we gotta stop with, oh yeah, they need to hurry up, and then they need to get a ring quick, fast, in a hurry. And although I don't agree with some of the things that Luka does, people look at Luka like he's supposed to have like 2 or 3 championships already. No, People got to remember that Luka's not even 25 yet. Yeah, Jordan took time to win. Now you saw potential because he did make the playoffs his first season with the Bulls. You know, but that's the thing. You got to realize that there was a lot of guys. Paul George, he only averaged like 6 something points when he first came in, and they didn't even make the playoffs when he was with the Pacers. So all this pressure that you're putting on him, it's I mean, that's what the NBA is about. Is can you handle the pressure? Can you handle the rigors and stuff mentally? But I mean, let the kid develop. You know what I'm saying? Or let the dude develop because he's not a kid. You know what I'm saying? But besides that, man, I think he's going to be great, and he could possibly be one of the faces. Yeah, and this is another thing too. I meant to say that. I'm about to touch on something right now. I don't think that there's going to be just one face of the league. I think I could see in the future there being plenty of faces in the league because you have a young crop of talent that's coming in, and they all have the potential to carry the league. So I could see like multiple faces of the league instead of just one face. You said people got to understand that this is a team game. Yeah, exactly, exactly. It's interesting because I was listening to Kwame Brown. Shout out to Kwame Brown, and I was listening to what he was saying about the whole Paul Pierce coming over to Undisputed and everything, and he was on board 100% with what Paul Pierce was saying in reference to LeBron James. Basically, what they're saying is that this is a team game. One of the guys was saying that this is a team game. Okay, the reason why a lot of those guys are they're afraid to truly be who they are is because they're on eggshells. They're so afraid. Not that they're afraid of LeBron, but they're on eggshells. Like, oh, if they do something or if they make a mistake or something like that, you're gonna have a guy like LeBron who's gonna be blowing his breath or sucking his teeth or something like that. Getting mad at you and stuff like that. You don't want to play with nobody like that. And your whole body language and stuff like that. Look, if you make a mistake or whatever, hey, no problem. It'll be all right. Bam, just keep going. It's just like with Giannis. He does the same thing. Now, could Giannis be a better leader? Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? But at the same token, everybody has their areas that they got to work on. So yeah, that's a good point. Be nice. I definitely agree with that. It's a team game. It's definitely a team game. Everybody just wants, individual and stuff like that. No, it don't work like that. You got guys on there that are great shooters. You got guys on there that are good overall scorers. You got guys on there that are just straight role players. Cleanup guys. You know what I'm saying? You got guys on there that are good vocal leaders, like what I was saying about Russ. You got guys on there that are just locker room guys. Then you got guys that can, every now and then you got a guy that can do pretty much everything. They're in the film room. They're on the court, working out. They're they're good on the floor in terms of willing their team to victory in the clutch situations, that sort of thing. They pretty much got the total complete package. So yeah, that was my take on everything. You said Iverson and Barkley are two of the best to ever play, but never had the right team. Well, okay, with Barkley, they definitely had the right team. Barkley had a great team in Phoenix. Okay, he also, to a certain extent, had a great team when he was in Houston. Now, listen, I know some people want to think that Hakeem Olajuwon, he wasn't the same and all this other stuff. No, Hakeem was still that guy. Okay, and also everybody wants to look at Barkley like he was a shell of himself in Houston. He was averaging a double double. So I can't really give you that be nice for the simple fact that Barkley actually was productive. So was Kevin Johnson. He was productive. Dan Marley, he was productive. Cedric Ceballos, he was productive. Um, Damn, who else? Richard Dumas, before the alcohol, he was productive. You know what I'm saying? Wayman Tisdale, he was productive. Those guys, man, they had a really good team. So I can't really do that. And then Iverson could have won too. He just didn't get it done. Iverson did have good players. Okay, did he have some dynamic scores or nothing like that? No. But they did have enough to get it done. They were in the finals. They just couldn't get over the hump. And I'm an Iverson fan. And that's what I was trying to tell the brother Cypress earlier. Eric Snow wasn't trash. Aaron McKee was not trash. Guys like I think Matt Geiger and Theo Ratliff, and I'm trying to think of who we had on our squad and everything. Even Larry Hughes coming off the bench, a young Larry Hughes. Them guys wasn't trash. They made it to the finals for a reason. So I mean, they just failed. They didn't get it done, and that's just something that they're gonna have to live with. Even with Stockton and Malone, they had plenty of opportunities to win. Everybody keeps saying they ran into Jordan and all this other stuff. No, you had your opportunity to beat them. You just didn't get it done. Just like Peyton and Sean Kemp, they were great. They had a good squad. Some people had them as a more talented squad than the Bulls in '96, but they just didn't get it done. So I don't always be like, yeah, oh, if their teams now with the 76ers back in the day with Barkley and who they surrounded him with, yes, I can agree with that. They could have put it, but they just didn't. They just didn't put it all together. But they just didn't. But it all together as a team. Oh, you mean put it all together as a team? Listen, Phoenix had a chance, man. They really had a chance to beat the Bulls. Matter of fact, uh, Phoenix actually was a pretty good defensive team. Um, if you go back and you go look at that series when they played the Phoenix Suns, and you also got to look at it too. Be nice. Guess who won the MVP in '93? Guess who was the regular season MVP? It wasn't Jordan. It was Charles Barkley. And guess who was the best player on the Dream Team. It wasn't Jordan. It was Charles Barkley. So we got to look at it, like that. And they surrounded him with enough players to get it done, man. KJ was a very slept-on point guard back in. He was way better than the point guard on the Bulls roster. He was B.J. Armstrong. No knock on him, but he wasn't like a on KG's level. You know what I'm saying? Even though Scottie Pippen, he would handle the rock and be the point forward. He wasn't on KG's level. Not in terms of being a point guard. Now, maybe in some other things and defensively and stuff like that. But, like, in terms of just being a total, complete package in terms of a point guard, he wasn't on KG's level. So, yeah, man. They got to stop putting all this pressure on just on one person. They're acting like Wemby is the end all be all. What's up with it, Cypress? I see you in the building, man. Make sure y'all go sub to that boy Memphis Cypress, man. So yeah, we up in here. We cooking on. We was cooking on what Paul Pierce was saying about Russell Westbrook and about him being a leader. And then now we're cooking on Wemby'S. They talking about Wemby'S. Some people saying he overrated just because the Spurs are not good. Your Spurs, which are dead last, but like I said, you got to give them time to develop. And the examples that I brought up is that LeBron James, he was 35 and 47 when he first came in. They didn't make the playoffs or whatever. He won Rookie of the Year, and D Wade and Carmelo Anthony, they ended up going to the playoffs. And Kevin Durant, I think I brought up, he was 20 and 62, was a phenomenal scorer and everything, and won Rookie of the Year, but they didn't make the playoffs. And look, they're both champions. Right, exactly. Yeah, Barkley was a beast. But man, listen, Barkley was that guy. Now, was he good defensively? No, he wasn't. He wasn't a great defender. But as far as a good rebounder, defensive rebounder, offensive rebounder, yeah, he was. But he wasn't that great of a defender. As a matter of fact, I think Malone, who I'm not really a fan of Malone, he was a better defender than Barkley because they weren't great at reading the pick and roll. Yeah, y'all will be good next year. Listen. I'm not saying y'all gonna win the championship or anything, Cypress, but I'm gonna tell you like this, right? They're gonna be way better because you can already see that he's improving in some areas. You have a guy that's 7'4" that can handle the rock and not just making just some old regular moves or in and outs and stuff like that. He's literally crossing people up and doing a hezo and step back at 7'4". I don't like what he did. So, we could take, listen, man, if you know the story about what he did, I can't stand him. He was a great player, man, but I don't like what he did. And I'm not gonna repeat what he did on here. You said Russ been a leader since day one. Yeah, it took him some time when he got with the Seattle Supersonics initially. Then of course they turned it into OKC. It took him some time to be a leader, but nah, he was always that leader. Even when he was at UCLA, he was always a leader. You know what I'm saying? It just took him some time to really flex his alpha personality on those guys, because let's just call it what it is. KD isn't an alpha. I'm not gonna repeat it on here, Cypress. Just go ahead and Google it, man. Just go ahead and Google it. I can't say that on here, man. But let's just say it's you would look at him differently, man. But respect to his skills. I mean, he got good skills, but man, once I heard about that, I couldn't even look at Karl Malone the same. And if anybody knows it on here, don't say it on here, okay? Do not say it on here. But yeah, Wembyama is he's gonna be that guy. He's gonna be that guy, man. And uh, I think it was two people that's really been telling me about Wembyama, but I really wasn't. You said Russ always had the right mentality. Yeah, he did. Yeah, hey Cypress, I'm not gonna talk about it on here, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna talk about that situation on here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would have to do that when I develop like um, a Patreon, and I'm in the process of getting on Rumble too. Yeah, Russ has always had the right mentality. Um, Look, I just want him to win a ring. He's got an MVP. He's got he had a record in which he averages triple double in the season and all that. You know what I'm saying? But I just want him to get that Larry on about it. Right, right, right. Yeah, nah. I know sight, man. But people be they be doing some hating stuff around here, man. But yeah, damn, you want to know, man? I'm surprised, Memphis. You be knowing shit before I know it, man. Hey, yeah, hey, and I like that. Shout out, I shouted you out, man, because Cypress had put me on Player Fly, man. That Eye of the Tiger remix, man, and I was just getting ready to look at that. I was looking at that, man, when I saw it on the feeds and stuff, man. But shout out to Memphis, man. But yeah, I'm gonna be talking about Memphis some more today because I still haven't got to really get into the whole Tammy Plummer situation. I'm probably gonna do a part two on that, how I feel about that situation, because that situation definitely needs to be talked about. More so on how I feel about the whole situation. I didn't really go in depth like I wanted. You said Wemby will be a problem in the next 2 to 3 years under his belt. Yeah, hey, listen. Some people are even talking about under under 5 years because he's already doing stuff under 5 years now. I know there's a lot of questions about would Wemby have been able to play like back in the days, being that he was, so thin and all that other stuff. I still think he would have, but he would not. I don't think he would be handling the rock and all that other stuff back in the days because back in the days, like I said, they didn't play that way. You know what I'm saying? You never saw unicorns on the court like that. 6'10", a six like a guy like Kevin Durant or Kristaps Porzingis or even Wemby, back in the '80s and all that stuff, they would just be in the middle posting up and they were postmen. Okay, guys, everyone have it. Got to do some more. Okay, yeah, I understand. I understand. Yeah, hey, but you know what though? I didn't lose. I didn't lose any faith in the Spurs, man. Matter of fact, man, Cypress, no, I was amped about Wemby when he first came in. I was like, yeah. Hey, what did I say, Cypress? I said the Spurs they gonna make the playoffs, and everybody was telling me calm down and stuff. But I was like, man, he gonna make the playoffs. But hey, I was wrong. But it just showed you the amount of potential that I thought that this guy had. So Yeah, man, I'm gonna go ahead and Steeler Nation. Oh yeah, now you want to start screaming that. You wasn't screaming that when you say keep Sierra from the locker room, please. Man, you ain't gotta really worry about it. Hey, and if she come, that's all right. Russ knows the expectations there. He knows that you're not coming there just to have a 2-3 year window. They want to win now. You got to think about it, y'all. Um, Cyprus, you got to understand. Y'all made the playoffs. Y'all weren't supposed to be in the playoffs, but y'all made the playoffs. So the expectation for Russell Wilson, he got to get it done. And if not, guess what? You got a guy in Justin Fields that's going to fill that void. And he's been a starter before. Now you ain't even really got to worry that much. If you throw Justin Fields in there, I have no doubt he'll pick that up right away. Man, listen. If y'all draft well, cause how many picks y'all got this year, Cypress, in the draft? Y'all have 7. Nah, no, you're not. I'm not wrong often, man. Not at all. I wasn't wrong. Hey, listen, I wasn't wrong about Giannis, and nobody thought he was gonna get a championship. I told people that he was gonna get a championship. I wasn't wrong in the fact when I was trying to tell the nigga Herm that the Golden State Warriors are not a threat. Guess what? They got blown out. I know it was just one game, but it got blown out by 52. And on top of that, the Warriors they've been depleted with injuries and stuff. And making my case right now, I haven't been wrong about Keith Thurman, who everybody was on his briefcase, so to speak, talking about one time and all this other stuff. Well, guess what? Now he's injured and got to pull out the fight. I wasn't wrong about that. I could go on and on and on. But was I wrong about this situation right here? Yeah, I was. I was wrong about the Spurs. I hate to admit it, but hey. So yeah, the Steelers, man, they man, we need to run packages, just run packages for. Okay, so how? But see, this is the thing. What y'all need? Cause y'all got 7. Oh, that's what I wanted to tell you. Y'all got 7 picks in the 2024 draft. Cypress. Y'all got 7 picks. So y'all are gonna have to make sure you get your picks widely. Which I give the Steelers. They've always drafted well. They've always drafted well. You gotta think about it. They when you go over Steelers history, they've always drafted well. Yeah, y'all got 7 picks. But see, everybody was looking for Justin Fields to go to Atlanta. That's what I think Ashley was saying. She wanted. They were looking for Justin Fields to be in Atlanta. So yeah, man. Other than that, man, yeah. Shout out to everybody that done pulled up. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Make sure you like the video, share it, subscribe, hit the notification too. Straight to the point, sports and entertainment. I'll get at y'all later.